Welcome back to another Facebook Friday. Once again, I'm Dr. Van Scoik and I'm joined by Dr. Botros, and we're here at the Chiropractic Company in Glendale, Wisconsin. Today, once again, we're going to go through another series of tips for you. You guys seem to like when we do tips on things that you can do on your own at home to better your health. So we're going to do that again today. So one of the most important parts of our day is literally just getting up. Everyone always says, breakfast is one of the most important meals, so we figured, why don't we start the day off right? So today we're going to go through some simple exercises that you can do as far as stretching is concerned before you even get out of bed. In the morning, we've gone through a sleeping process where our body has been laying down and essentially it's been decompressing. In fact, some studies show that your body actually gets taller when you're sleeping because the less gravity is forcing down on you. So as your joints and your discs have become decreasing, once again, now we're going to work on having the muscles also function better as well. So once again, we're going to get into doing some stretches. Now, is there a certain way that you would prefer your patients to sleep?
So ideally, if we can get them to sleep on their back, I think that would be absolutely excellent. Otherwise, if that's difficult, which is very understandable considering if you're used to sleeping a certain way, then what you do is you try to sleep on your side. And if you have to choose a side, choose the left side because it tends to be better on the digestive system and sometimes even the heart. Very minimum studies show that. But if you're going to choose a side, sleep on the left side, or you can sleep on the right side. Those would be the top recommendations for that.
Absolutely, and I've talked about this to my patients many times. Sleeping on your stomach is very, very difficult on your spine, very difficult on your nervous system for a variety of different reasons. So when we sleep, we always prefer our patients, once again, to be on their backs if possible or on their side. So let's start with if you're sleeping on your back. So if you're a back sleeper and you're, once again, enjoying your nice, lovely sleep and it's time to get up. So you're in this position already, so let's start with an exercise from this position. One of the first things that you can do, once again, is a very simple exercise for your low back. In bringing one knee up toward your chest, pull 10, 15 seconds, let it go. Do the same thing for the other side. You're going to do this 4 or 5 times on each side. And as you do this, you're going to actually warm up, once again, a lot of that low back tissue. You're also going to start to pump the discs, which will help to get them moving and less likely to become damaged when you start putting gravity upon the disc. Gravity pushes down on your body, and so if the disc is already decompressed, it'll recompress quite a bit and can end up being very painful if there's disc problems. So this will help to bring some fluid into those discs to make them so that they're more resilient to any kind of injury. Now that we've got things stretched out here, now we can start working on rotation. So the next thing I have patients do is work on rotation, where you're starting with your knees up and you're going to work it back and forth from side to side. You're going to bring it so that you're feeling that stretch in through the sides in the lower part of your back. As you bring it down and it goes further and further, you'll end up feeling it come further up and further down. Once again, you're working on warming up and stretching out this tissue. This is not something that you're going to need to force your body into. This is not something that you're going to need to stretch and hold on to very much. You're looking just to simply warm up the tissue and not tear it. Once things have been rotated as far as side to side, then we can actually start moving towards getting onto your stomach. As we move towards getting onto your stomach, then we can start to work into more of a cobra pose to stretch out that low back and extension. So we've gone into flexion, and now we can work into getting into some extension. Once again, holding for just a couple seconds and allowing it to relax, holding it for a couple seconds, and then coming up to being on your knees. Once you're on your knees, you can continue to drop into that extension by doing a simple cat-camel or cat-cow exercise where you're warming up the tissue, going back and forth, allowing your stomach to drop down, and then bringing it into a rounded position. Here you're not only going to get some of the low back, but as you start working into your upper back, you're going to feel that upper stretch as well. So work down, once again, warming up that tissue, work into stretching out that upper stuff to try to get that flow in there in a nice, easy fashion. Like we said before, we're not going to be doing anything that's going to be tearing any of that tissue. We're just simply working on warming it up getting the blood flowing into it so that when you do start to become active, it'll be easier for your body to handle that. Once we get to that stage, now you're sitting. And so there's some simple exercises that you can do while you're sitting. And Dr. Botros is going to give you a couple ideas of things that you can do, once again, to get yourself even closer to being out of bed. So, Dr. Botros, what can we do once we're in a sitting position?
So now that you've done some of these stretches while you're on your bed, you can start to sit at the edge of your bed like this. And you're going to now introduce some of these motions into the spine, with the gravity pulling on your body here, okay? So when you're laying flat and you're twisting, that's a really great way to start off. Now we're gonna take it a little bit more advanced and do the 2.0 version, the more advanced one here, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna sit upright. You wanna make sure that you're not slouching over or too relaxed or anything like that. You wanna keep your chest sticking up and your head back, and you're going to simply twist and hold, and then twist and hold. And what you'll notice is, as you do this, you don't want to, be one of those people who tries to force any kind of motion, like Dr. Van Scoik mentioned. So you're not trying to, okay, ooh and ee. Don't do that. That's not good for the ligaments. It's not good for the tendons. And it's one of those things that can actually make things really loosened up in a way that's actually not positive. So you want to always keep it under control, hold, and then again, making sure that you're doing this, breathing properly. Okay? Now, after you've done this, a great one you can do is you'll take your hands and put them behind your back, and you're going to interlace them like this, and then you're going to stick your chest out, and then you're going to try to raise your hand up like that. Okay? So as you do that motion, what you're going to notice is you're going to feel a great deal of stretch in the mid-back, as well as in your chest and in your shoulders and in your neck. And this is a great one to do in the morning, and you can actually sprinkle that throughout your day, especially if you've been sitting for a long time. Unwind the spine, pull and hold, and it feels absolutely phenomenal. Okay? And then lastly, can't forget about the neck, right? We've been sitting there for 6 to 8 hours on a bed, hopefully sleeping in good posture. If we're not sleeping in good posture, it's gonna start to really tighten up those neck muscles. So what you wanna do is you wanna start by looking down and then looking up, not all the way up. You don't wanna hyperextend, but just look up a little bit. Again, just bringing motion into the neck. Then you'll bring your ear to your shoulder, and then the ear to the other shoulder. Again, very controlled, very gentle, and then you'll rotate one way and rotate the other. Seems very simple, but if you're doing this on a regular basis after you're sleeping, when you wake up first thing in the morning, you're really setting yourself up for success, and you can get on with your day, not having to worry as much about those tendons and ligaments and muscles being brittle and not being warmed up sufficiently here.
Absolutely. And when we talk with patients, a lot of people come in and they ask, Doc, you've done a great exam here and we've found a lot of problems for me. Why did I get in this situation in the first place? Well, once again, improperly warming up is a really, really easy way for these tissues to become damaged. So starting off the day right is really an important thing that you can do to, once again, keep your body healthy, keep it getting stronger, because that's what we want every day. Just get a little bit stronger, a little bit healthier. It's going to take you a long way. All right, so that's what we have for you today as far as our Facebook Friday is concerned. I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to leave us a comment if you have other topics that you'd like for us to do. Once again, I know that you like the tips, so if there's other tips, let us know and we'll be happy to put that together for you as well. So once again, I'm Dr. Van Scoik, joined with Dr. Botros here at the Chiropractic Company, and we'll catch you next week on our Facebook Friday.